but there's no gap from the day you graduate. If you're lucky enough to be employed right away, your first payment is due that month. So you're not climbing out of poverty. You're not leaving TCHC home. You're still struggling because there's no breather. You just hit the ground running if you're lucky enough to have childcare, and if you're lucky enough that whatever certificate or degree got you a job. We're still going to claw it back as fast as we can, so you can't really start climbing that ladder. And so they have to be, as we embark on this, as full service and as closed loop, if I can use that terminology, as we can make them. And sometimes that will be possible using all of our own programs. Sometimes it will only be possible talking to other orders of government. But I just wanted to implore you to think about those measures where when you go forward and say to the other order of government, if you just close this one loop, you will get the biggest bang for your buck, we'll get the biggest bang for ours, and we'll make real change. I think those are the ones that the other orders of government will be most responsive to, because often the political members in those governments aren't even aware that they are in fact shooting people in the foot right after we solve their problem. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Carroll. I'll speak to that because I'm going to speak in a moment or two. We have Councillor Thompson to speak next.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I too want to thank the speakers and presenters this morning for their passion, as well as just the focus and the direction of helping us to understand the plight and some of the challenges. And clearly we want to thank Councillor McConnell and you, Mr. Mayor, for your leadership in appointing Councillor McConnell to basically take on this very challenging task. Clearly there's no joy, no fun by being poor or living in poverty. And I think at the end of the day, we ought not to look at those who are in poverty and assume that they have gotten there as a result of their own fault and their efforts and so on. I think what we ought to do is recognize that any one of us, even in our particular situation, could in fact be in a situation where we are facing similar challenges as those who have spoken to us here today. It's a very stressful situation to be involved in. And I think that when we talk about this city and we talk about diversity being our strength, one of the things that we need to remind ourselves is that no one should be left behind, because the fact of the matter is that we have to judge our society based on the lowest common denominator, in that those who are being affected and are on our streets and are impacted by poverty and so on, because we may drive our fancy cars and have great restaurants that we can eat in and so on. But the fact of the matter